The Green Bay Packers have just made headlines with a blockbuster acquisition that has fans buzzing. They've secured the services of Micah Parsons ahead of the 2025 season, a strategic move that has the potential to completely transform their defensive scheme. How will this dynamic edge defender reshape the Packers' approach on that side of the ball? For those watching, let us know where you're tuning in from and share your thoughts on this pivotal addition. Parsons didn't just meet expectations, he exceeded them in his first year donning the green and gold. In just 14 appearances, he racked up an impressive 12.5 sacks, solidifying his status as one of the league's elite pass rushers. His performance earned him first-team All-Pro honors, a testament to the caliber of talent the Packers were able to acquire through that high-stakes trade with Dallas. But as we all know, in the world of sports, the highs can quickly turn to lows. In December, the Packers season was dealt a devastating blow when Parsons suffered a torn ACL, abruptly ending his campaign and raising serious questions about his rehabilitation timeline and return to action. The hopes of a passionate fan base now rested on the shoulders of a player facing a grueling recovery. Fast forward a few months, and Parsons has offered a glimmer of hope to Packers supporters through social media. Sharing a video on Instagram, he demonstrated his commitment to recovery, performing jab drills that are a critical part of his therapy. This isn't just a routine exercise. It signifies that the NFL's most feared defender is on the road to recovery, and it has fans feeling optimistic. In a clever display, Parsons paired his training footage with highlights of his on-field prowess, showcasing the explosive movements that made him a force to be reckoned with. This side-by-side comparison serves to remind both fans and analysts of the level of talent he possesses and why his return could be a game-changer for Green Bay. However, Parsons has been refreshingly honest about the challenges he faces. He's described the injury as serious, emphasizing the importance of taking things step by step. At a moment when fans are desperate for good news, his latest update couldn't have come at a better time. There's always that factor, Parsons said, reflecting on the dual challenges of getting back on the field and performing at an elite level. He understands the weight of expectations, and he's clearly aware that regaining his former self is no small task. The first 3 months went good, but I gotta learn how to run again soon. I just finished learning how to walk again, he shared. These insights underscore why even the most basic movements in his recent video are monumental for Packers fans. For an athlete whose effectiveness hinges on explosive bursts and quick directional changes, every small victory in his rehabilitation is a step towards reclaiming his dominance. As the 2026 season looms closer, questions about Parsons' availability remain. While he's hinted at a potential return ahead of schedule, the reality is that many projections still point to the possibility of starting the season on the physically unable to perform list, which would mean missing at least 4 games. Before the injury, Parsons was already justifying the Packers' decision to bring him on board. In his truncated 2025 season, he accumulated 41 combined tackles, 12.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles, all while earning that coveted All-Pro recognition. His presence on the field was electrifying, elevating Green Bay's defensive front into one of the NFL's most formidable pass-rushing units. As training camp and preseason activities approach, the primary focus for the Packers will be on guiding Parsons back to that dominant form that made him such an impactful acquisition. The stakes are high, and the anticipation among fans is palpable. Will he return to the gridiron and continue to wreak havoc on opposing offenses? Only time will tell, but there's no doubt that the Packers' defense is holding its breath in anticipation. Now, let's shift gears and look at the next major news item affecting the Packers as we dive deeper into the current dynamics surrounding the team.
The kicker position for the Green Bay Packers has hit a critical turning point once again, as the team finds itself back at square one. The struggles that have plagued this vital role seem far from resolved, and fans are left wondering what lies ahead for the franchise. With Brandon McManus officially released after a season and a half in green and gold, the competition for the spot has taken on an entirely new dynamic, and it's one that could ultimately define the Packers' kicking game for the foreseeable future. At first glance, McManus appeared to be a reliable option, especially after a promising start in 2024. His stats from that season showed he converted 80% of his field goals, going 24 of 30. Impressively, he was perfect on shorter attempts, nailing all 18 kicks from 20 to 39 yards. However, as the pressure mounted, particularly evident during the wild card round, McManus faltered on longer attempts, hitting only half of his 40-plus yard kicks. The reality is that those misses were not just numbers. They were lost opportunities that left the door wide open for the Packers to rethink their strategy at kicker. Now, the kicking battle has been narrowed down to two contenders, Trey Smack and Lucas Havrizic. The stakes are high, and the competition promises to be intense as both players vie for the coveted role. Havrizic has already seen some action with the Packers, making all his field goals in 3 games last season, but his performance against the New York Giants raises questions. Missing 2 extra points, albeit in challenging windy conditions, suggests the pressure may have gotten to him. This pivotal moment could define his ability to step up when it counts. On the other hand, the Packers have expressed significant confidence in Smack, trading up to draft him in the 6th round of the 2026 draft. Labeled as the top-rated kicker in the draft, the expectations are high. During his time with the Florida Gators, he converted 53 of 64 field goal attempts, an impressive 82.8%, including 14 of 19 from 40 to 49 yards and 10 of 13 from distances of 50 yards or longer. When you consider these numbers in light of the Packers' recent kicking woes, it's clear why he's viewed favorably in this competition. However, let's not dismiss Havrizic just yet. Each kicker will have their opportunity to shine during training camp and the preseason, and the Packers may even choose to bring in another competitor, potentially reopening the door to a wider battle for the starting role. It's a reality that fans are all too familiar with. The search for consistency at kicker has been a long and painful journey for this franchise, which only cycled through 4 kickers from 1990 to 2022. With McManus now firmly in the rearview mirror, the Packers are left to pick up the pieces of a kicking game that has proven to be more of a headache than a solution. The hope is that this time around, the team can find a lasting answer. It's a critical juncture for Green Bay, and the pressure is on Smack and Havrizic to deliver. As we look ahead, the anticipation builds. Will one of these kickers emerge as the reliable foot the Packers have been yearning for, or will the team once again be left searching for answers at an essential position? Fans are invited to weigh in. Where are you watching from? And what are your thoughts on the Packers' kicking situation? Stay tuned as we continue to track this developing story and the implications it holds for the upcoming season. Now, let's transition to our next segment and see what other challenges lie ahead for the Packers as they gear up for the new season. Transitioning from the previous segment, let's dive into the latest surrounding the New England Patriots, where rumors and speculation continue to swirl like an autumn breeze in Green Bay. Fans, where are you tuning in from today? Drop a comment below to let us know, and we want to hear your thoughts on the state of the Patriots as we delve into the situation. The Patriots are facing an offseason filled with intrigue and challenges, centered around head coach Mike Vrabel and an ongoing controversy involving NFL reporter Diana Rossini. This saga isn't just gossip, it's a cloud that could loom large over the franchise as they prepare for a demanding season ahead. NFL insider Jason La Canfora recently engaged with several league executives, and the assessments of the Patriots' future are far from optimistic. One unnamed official from an AFC club painted a bleak picture for New England, emphasizing their struggles on the field. Last in sacks allowed is a damning statistic, especially when you consider that quarterback Drake May was hit a staggering 121 times last season, leading the league. When you hear that the left tackle situation is less than ideal and that the team's red zone offense is underwhelming, it's clear that there are substantial cracks in the foundation of this Patriots team. This is a squad that relied heavily on the run game, yet their defense faltered in critical moments, particularly in the red zone. With insufficient impact players on the defensive line, they found themselves ranked 31st in the league for sacks, pressures, and quarterback hits. This paints a picture of a team in regression. Critics have pointed out that the Patriots' path to the division title last season was cushioned by what many described as an easy schedule. The implications of this commentary are clear. The upcoming season will not afford them the same leniency. The competition is fierce, with teams like Kansas City, Baltimore, and Cincinnati all poised to improve. As one general manager succinctly put it, there is nowhere for them to go but down. There's a glimmer of hope on the horizon, though. The potential acquisition of A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles could inject some much-needed talent into the Patriots' offense. However, this trade won't be finalized before June 1st due to salary cap constraints. Until then, the uncertainty surrounding Vrabel's leadership and the fallout from his personal controversies could hinder the team's ability to gel and progress. As we wrap up this discussion, the overarching narrative is one of concern for the Patriots. Will Vrabel be able to steer the ship through turbulent waters? Can the team rise above the setbacks and push forward in a tougher division? These questions linger, and fans will be watching closely as the offseason unfolds. As we conclude today's segment on the Green Bay Packers and their rivals in the NFL, we want to hear from you. How do you see the Patriots managing their challenges? Comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis and updates on all things Packers and the NFL. Your voice matters in this passionate fan community.